It'll be all right. Won't it?
Reform your ranks! Reform your ranks! Reform your ranks! Quiet in the ranks! Quiet in the ranks! Right, play that.
Sergeant Mulcahy. You may commence.
Hey, how y'all doing? This is MrBlowsurmind coming with another thought-provoking topic. This topic here is going to offend a lot of people. I'm talking about our brother Mike Vick. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. I'm talking about that brother, Michael Vick. You know, the reason why I'm saying this is not because that, you know, I'm against dogs or that I'm just looking for something to be out here to be griping about. Lord knows that's not what I'm doing. But what I am tired of is seeing how a race of people who seem to continue, as you've seen in the clip here. I'm using Denzel Washington as Michael Vick, and that Matthew Broderick, I think that's his name, as the general. He's going to be the white race, and or representation of it. And what you seen in there was the scene from the movie Glory, where Denzel, who had joined the military, who was looking, you know, to better himself, because I guess at that particular time he was getting into a lot of mischiefs, and so they enrolled into the army having the thought that they would be treated as equal. So what happens is he gets in, and because of the rigorous training they're going through, they didn't have the proper shoes, so he took it upon himself to find himself some shoes. I mean, any man that would be in a predicament, that would be in need of something, and if they couldn't get it because of lacking the finances, I guess we have to do, you know, the appropriate thing of how to find a way of getting it. So he goes off and he steals some shoes, right? And because he left without permission, being a POW, I guess you could say, of that nature, he's brought back to be punished. Okay, now the part you see where he commands his, I don't know if he's lieutenant, sergeant, whatever it was, the under commander, to go ahead and commence the punishment. And when he took the shirt off of Denzel, he noticed that he had, you know, old whip marks. And upon everybody noticing it, it was like, man, you know, the thought here was, man, this cat been beat a lot in his life, man. I mean, damn. And you still want to do this? I mean, I'm pretty sure we done relayed and told you why he did what he did, but I mean, look at him, man. He's been beat the shit out of, and yet you still want to beat him? This is why I'm using the analogy here. See, here's a man, Michael Vick, who's, you know, an athlete. And that's the one thing that a lot of people, and the people who I hear that talk the most about athletes are white people. White people have this real disdain about athletes, and they talk about how much money they make and the expectations they believe, and this high standard that they're supposed to be this moral compass, and you know, the things that they put on athletes are unnatural to the so-called normal man. So there's a higher expectation, a higher standard, right? And then to be ridiculed and to be talked about and to be taken because you're in the public eye and all this nonsense that go along with it. I don't know who wrote that book on that, but we know who wrote that damn book. Now, here's the story. The story goes that it started off with one of Michael Vick's cousins. I think his name was Day. I'm gonna say Day for short. You know, his last name was Bolding. I think it was Davon Bolding, something like that. And supposedly he went to a club and he had about 3 ounces of marijuana or weed, how you want to call it. Now, so he got caught up. They find the 3 ounces on him. Doing, I guess, the interrogation or having them at the police station, he gives the address to Michael Vick's house. And upon getting the address, they noticed, okay, that they knew who lived there. So they wanted to have a warrant arrest to go there to see if they could, you know, apprehend any more drugs. But they didn't do that. Now see, this is where the problem I got with white folks here. See, white folks tend to be having selective information when it comes to shit. Yeah, I'm gonna say that again. White folks have this selective information when it comes to shit because, you know, because you can't relate to the scenarios or situations of other people, so you think just because the way you see shit that that's the only way it can be. Same thing like that Monday Night Football call too, right? Your ass can be totally wrong. So anyway, so based on the interpretation that white folks got it, they already got in their mind that this man here, based on reports that had been said, and that initially Mike Vick supposedly had, now supposedly we don't know, we weren't there unless they're showing the interrogation tapes, but you have a report stating, now so this is the difference between one nation and another nation. One nation will take because people who have badges, they work for an emblem, they're part of an institution, that they're not corrupt, they don't come up with things, they don't lie, they don't fabricate, okay? But the other nation, you know, who have a different perspective of things and have a different dealing with certain situations, don't take it in the same manner as another nation takes it. So when they hear certain things, they don't take it at first hand. Again, taking back to the O.J. Simpson case. That's why the nation was divided. Some people believe just because you found the glove at Rockingham Palace, or whatever the hell the name it was, that because that Mark Furman found the damn glove, It had to be OJ doing it. Okay. Black folks say shit. He could have planted that damn glove. But see, two different perspectives because of two different ways of how we dealing with situations. So here I'm going to use that analogy here and going forward. Now, so according Day gets arrested. They get the address from him. Immediately they want to get a arrest warrant or warrant to search, and somehow they didn't proceed to go forward. So as time is elapsing from the time that Day goes through this process, now we don't know how much time elapsed between the initial arrest to the time that they finally go on the premise where they see the kennel, the dogs, the whole apparatus for the pit fighting and all that other stuff, right? You have to do more research. I'm not here to give you everything. You need to do it for your own self. But what my whole point here is, I'm a little bit sick and tired of every time something comes up when they're dealing with a damn dog, you want to put this brother face out there like he's a goddamn poster child for motherfucking batters of dogs. Now my analogy here, you're not going to like what I'm about to tell you here. Now, alright, so accordingly, they go into the premise, they see all this stuff, and they supposedly have, according to conflicting stories, I read where it said that they had got information that there had been body or carcasses of dogs who had been buried supposedly on the premise. I don't know who they would know, because if you would see his property, I don't see nobody next to him. You understand what I'm saying? He's on his own land, but this is one of the stories that's been said, and then accordingly we end up going in on something else, and that's how it led us to this story. Alright, we hear this, white folks? Now, so accordingly they have somebody who's informing them that 3 dogs had been hung using nylon that was to a board, and they hung the dog. Now, accordingly to the reports, you had VICK, you had there was 3 other brothers there. Okay, so there was 3 dogs that got hung, and there was 3 dogs that got drowned. Okay, so there's a total of 6 dogs here. The hanging, I don't know if you're saying that there was 3 dogs hanging that was on a rope, that when you got a pit bull, how they train them to keep their jaw strong. And I'm trying to, and I want you to imagine, how the hell do you hold a fucking pit bull and hold his ass underwater when them motherfuckers got strong ass legs and them damn claws that'll gut your damn stomach out? Grab a motherfucking dog from behind. We ain't talking about no little rat ass teacup ass dog. We talking about a motherfucking pit bull. This is Mr. Blows Your Mind. Stay tuned to part 2.